All right, hi everybody. Thanks for coming to my presentation on making the outdoors more accessible, coming from the University of Denver Center for Sustainability's Gear Garage. I'm Halle Catalina Brown. I'm an environmental science and public policy senior at the University of Denver. I was a Gear Garage intern last year at the Center for Sustainability. This year I'm on our new research team, which is really exciting. And outside of school and work, I'm an avid rock climber, backpacker, outdoor enthusiast, kind of all the Colorado stuff out here, and I also enjoy practicing yoga. Before we get started, I want to talk to you a little bit about a land acknowledgement. I'm speaking to you from the ancestral home of the Northern Cheyenne, Northern Arapaho, Southern Cheyenne, and Arapaho tribes. This is super important to us at the University of Denver Center for Sustainability, especially at the Gear Garage, as we talk about recreating outside and sharing our respect and acknowledgement of the past of this land and making sure to respect it into the future. And I hope that you take some time to acknowledge whose ancestral home you are watching this presentation from. So what is the Gear Garage? So the Gear Garage originated a few years ago when some students recognized that a huge barrier to getting outside for a lot of people is the expensive gear that it requires. So a lot of these students acquire donations through gear drives from other community members or other students who had gear to pass on to others. And so they collected it all in a garage and were able to distribute it to people, whoever they needed it. Kind of in their final year at the university, they asked the Center for Sustainability to adopt the Gear Garage program as an internal program. And so we did in order to continue its growth into the future. And up until kind of today with COVID, in the past, we were able to provide gear rentals, including tents, backpacks, camp stoves, coolers, sleeping bags and pads, kind of most outdoor gear to students, staff, and faculty, along with kind of additional outdoor information. So some of the things we do, a lot of it is providing rental gear to students and our other community members, as I previously noted. But also a large part of our work is supporting student outdoor groups. So this is by providing them with any of the gear they need at no cost to them. We also identified that there was a need for kind of beginning hiking and snowshoeing trips, really easy stuff to start people off who have never really gotten into the outdoors. And so we've been running a couple of these trips the last couple of years. And a big part that's really cool about being part of the Center for Sustainability is that we get to emphasize kind of an educational aspect about recreating outside. And so this we do through our Leave No Trace principles, through acknowledging land stewardship. During kind of our hiatus with COVID and our quarantine time, the Gear Garage actually put together a presentation for our community on Leave No Trace principles, which we are hoping to share to our wider community, especially at a time when people were kind of moved outdoors because a lot of things were closed, especially out here. So we wanted to make sure that people were respecting a lot of the land we really enjoy spending time on. So some of our campus connections include our backpacking club, which is a student-run club that started a few years ago. They run a couple backpacking trips in the fall and in the spring, and then a couple day snowshoeing trips in the wintertime. Our DU Alpine Club, which is actually part of our outdoor recreation and fitness center. And so they're funded kind of differently than some of our additional clubs. And a lot of the time they will donate gear that they don't need anymore to our Gear Garage for wider community member use. And Digitalogics is a new student group of Native American students who are cyclists. And so we helped run a trip with them in the spring for backpacking, and so that they could all kind of bond outside, which was really awesome. Our environmental sustainability living learning community is a living learning community for freshmen at the University of Denver who all live together and go on different camping trips and throughout the year to talk about kind of both outdoor recreation as well as environmental sustainability and sustainable living. Spread the Stoke was a huge event we ran in 2019, which was going to be recreated in 2020 until COVID happened, which focused on getting folks outside, educating people on the options we have club-wise and kind of gear-wise for the gear garage for other students to get outside and to kind of enjoy our outdoors. So a little of kind of the behind the scenes stuff with Gear Garage to ensure that our experience is both easy and user friendly for our gear renters and those of us running the program. We actually have started up a website. So students are able to log into that website using kind of their university information that then allows them to kind of browse any of the gear that we have available, and then they're able to reserve and rent it prior to the weekend that they will be using the gear. We do pickups for all the gear on Thursday at our gear garage. And so that's when we have all our gear ready to go for each student. They come in and tell us their name, kind of exchange. If it's not part of a club, then exchange funds for, for the rentals for the weekend. Each item is $5 for the entire weekend. And then beyond 8 items, we just do a flat fee of $40 and you're able to rent whatever gear you need for the weekend beyond 8 items. And then we apply for annual grants each year from our sustainability committee in order to expand our inventory. And so each item that then is added to our inventory, we put a barcode on it, which is unique to every item, and we can scan it into our system and scan it in and out of our system when folks check it out, and that's the way that they're able to view it online. And yeah, so I think that's a lot of kind of how our whole program works. We have had some challenges in the last couple of years. Yes, there are some dishonest folks out there who do not return gear. It happens. Very fortunately for us, it happens really infrequently. And what we've been kind of able to do is flag the students who do rent out the gear, because you do have to rent it out using your identification through our university, which also helps kind of with integrity and stuff too. We're able to flag those people, and they're no longer allowed to rent gear from us because they kind of lost that privilege by not having integrity and returning gear. And another problem that we've kind of had is organizing pickups and returns. Sometimes folks can't necessarily be there to return items exactly the Monday after they use the gear, which is typically fine for us, but a lot of the times those of us who are working and running the center and kind of running these rentals also are not necessarily always available when folks are there to return the items. So sometimes we have items that are going on for a long time that haven't been returned. And this provides challenges for folks who want to rent it out the next weekend. And so we're kind of working on that, kind of imposing more of a late fee so that students who do rent out our gear are returning it in a timely manner so that we can kind of clean it and turn it around and get it back out for rentals, since we get quite a few rentals when it gets nice outside. And there's a lot of camping going on. Anyway, this is what we've accomplished over the last couple of years. This past year was our largest amount of rentals despite our closure in the spring, which actually happens to be kind of our biggest time for gear rentals. But I think it had to do with a lot of increase in renting snowshoes and an increase in our inventory of snowshoes, which is really cool. We've secured $4,000 in grant funding from our sustainability committee, which helped us fund 64 new rental items. We supported 6 unique DU backpacking trips, which was really exciting. All of these also, for the most part, happening in the fall, which was a lot. So from September to November. And we partnered with 4 other campus connections, which was really exciting, including our Indigilogics group, which helps support getting 34 Native students out and into the outdoors to hang out together and to bond and have that experience. So for all of that, we're super stoked. Looking forward, we really like to increase our collaboration with minority student groups and alliances, whether that be kind of like the individualized trips, more trips for either kind of chief officers to be collaborating together in the outdoors, or for the entire club. We'd also like to translate our website information as well as all of our posters into Spanish so that our wider community is able to access our gear. If language is a barrier, we want to reduce all of those barriers so that we can get as many people outside who want to be outside. Tightening up our logistics, again, always a thing. I think a lot of this has to do with probably training more of our Center for Sustainability interns who are not necessarily part of the Gear Garage, but who could help check in items when folks do drop them off at our location, if one of us who doesn't work for the Gear Garage or doesn't have any information about it isn't there. We also would like to provide one interactive workshop each quarter. These range anywhere from kind of like basic camp setup, how you set up a tent, how you have a safe fire, all of that kind of stuff, to more about leave no trace principles and how you have leave no trace trips, as well as backcountry cooking, which would be really fun because everyone wants to know how to cook a pizza in the backcountry. So that's about our Gear Garage. I look forward to hearing some questions and comments from all of you. And thanks so much for watching. And I look forward to hearing from you all soon. Thanks.